Awesome. So, welcome everyone to our session today and how we're enabling Sage users with AI agents and automated insights to take action throughout your day in an automated fashion. My name is Teddy Patizan, Director of Account Management here at ConverSight, and I'm going to be walking you through our platform today. Here at ConverSight, we provide an agentic AI and unified decision intelligence platform built specifically to sit on top of an ERP system like Sage. So, what makes us really different is we're combining AI, analytics, and operational decision making all into one single platform. So instead of teams pulling, reports for hours, exporting it to Excel, and trying to figure out what happened, Athena, our AI agent, is actually going to deliver instant answers, insights, and recommend actions directly from your Sage data. And we work across all sectors of the business. So finance, sales, inventory, supply chain, really to help organizations move from a reactive analytics procedure to more of a proactive decision-making model. So with that, the key thing to understand is that we're not just another dashboarding tool or chatbot. Our focus is on helping teams make faster, smarter operational decisions through AI agents that are, actually embedded into their workflow. So, what we're consistently seeing with the Sage clients is that ERP data is so incredibly powerful operationally, but a lot of organizations struggle to get visibility into the decision making. So, when you look at a lot of different teams, they're pulling Excel, data siloed, and by the time they get it, usually it's outdated. So, this creates a lot of major challenges and, inventory blind spots, stock issues, slow manual reporting processes, even difficulty forecasting. And ultimately, most of these teams spend more time gathering data than actually going and acting on it. So that's where ConverSight's going to come in. And we're going to provide a conversational AI layer and predictive analytics engine on top of Sage, really allowing users to get instant understandings of what's happening, why it's happening, what's most important, and what actions to take next. So with that being said, I'd like to really just quickly show you the ConverSight platform. And at the end of the day, when you walk in, right as you come in, you have Athena here. You can ask her questions. She's your AI agent and really giving you the ability to expand into your data and understand what's going on. In addition, you have your AI workforce here. So multiple AI agents working with you based on the specific location that you need to, whether that's planning your supply, understanding your forecast, or other aspects of your business. Something I also wanted to mention as well is the executive pulse. This is really bubbling up per persona in an AI manner where it's understanding what that persona is looking at most throughout their day, bubbling it up to tell them, hey, you need to take action here. And it's giving you some additional steps that maybe can help you take those actions. So it's not just telling you the data and having you figure out the next steps. It's actually helping you massage through the data and understand, all right, I have a critical profit risk. What do I need to do? Well, here's all the data to explain it, but I maybe need to conduct an immediate job level, margin audit, reset the pricing model, and kind of go from there. So ultimately, these are going to bubble up daily to give you those insights. And on top of that, we have some additional automated insights that are going to bubble up critical, some opportunities, risks, anything urgent that is really needing to be taken care of right then. So then from there, really what we want to end up doing is, start asking questions of our data, right? Being able to really get into the data and understand what's going on. So maybe from a supply chain perspective, I want to understand what's my current inventory position. And so Athena, our AI agent, is going to go in and she's going to pull that information and provide that report in real time for us. And as you can see here, she's pulling the data up, but maybe I want to understand what does this look like across all of my warehouse locations? And as you can see here, I can easily speak right into the computer and it's automatically pulling this data and it's already updating it and pulling the information. Now, maybe I want to go even deeper than this and I want to understand top 5 trending items across these warehouses. And as you can see here, as the data is loading, you can see on the right, it's pulling an AI narrative to explain in each of these circumstances here, what does my warehouse's, inventory look like, but also explaining what are my trending items across that warehouse and why. And then from there, maybe we want to close this conversation and maybe we have another question around, which customers and products drove revenue and sales quality for the last 3 months by month. And as an Athena pulls that information, she'll quickly populate it, really kind of giving you that story of, where you can start over or evaluating those overall trends and understanding what's been driving that trend recently. In addition, we could dive a little deeper and say, how did the sales and gross margin perform last week versus the same week last year? And really, what this is going to break down for us is it's going to narrow down even further to understand last week the performance and if the material difference, was in a trend on that front. And are there any pivots that we need to make on that front? So all this is really doable and easy for you to access by asking questions right when you come into ConverSight. But I want to take it a step further. We have, where Athena, our AI assistant, has pre-built many dashboards and storyboards, like we like to call it, that are automatically updated, unlike some of the crystal reports that you're used to that can be static. So out the gate, you're going to see that these 16 reports here are all included with our Sage package. So when you sign up and you add the solution, you immediately get all of these reports right out the gate. And one thing I want to point out right as we go in is, for example, executive financial summary. Maybe CEO, CFO, other team members want to come in and understand a little bit of a story or the background of what's going on in the business. Well, the AI assistant is going to go in and going to give you total sales, revenue, year-to-date margin, current inventory, customer by month, even going even further down into it and giving you an AI narrative of maybe there's a significant revenue decline, top customer contributions, and diverse customer base. Really giving you that narrative of what's happening here instead of you having to dig through the data to try to understand it. From there, I'm going to jump right into the revenue trend side of things. As you can see here, it's loading up and it's going to present all the revenue that's going on within the business on that side of things. You can really dive into this, drill into the data, really start understanding, the data that you have from Sage, and you're not having to export it and manually manipulate all that information. It's all here at your fingertips. And then lastly, I wanted to show you the inventory details. Inventory details because, for some of our clients, how important it is to understand our current position and really get an expansive view of that. So this is really going to help companies really be able to understand maybe what they have on hand today and break down, any allocated quantities, transit quantities, any sales orders, purchase orders, etc., so that you can keep up with all the information from an inventory perspective right in front of you. From there, I'm going to jump right into what I would think we would want to see is really the forecasting elements of the platform. Really giving you the ability to get in here and understand your forecast. And we really start where you are. So typically we like to see about 2 years of, history. But at the end of the day, if you have an Excel spreadsheet or you're just starting out, we'll start working with you to build that forecast and make it simple for you. You can simply create your own forecast or load it in quickly. Or from there, we can select one of these different multiple forecasts and even roll them up from there. As you can see here, I'm going to select on the product monthly forecast here today, just to show you all an example of how we're able to see the overall forecast. Now, this forecast is going to be, brought across 8 different models, and the AI is going to see where it smooths out the line most to make sure that you're ordering properly and you have the best forecast you can. As you can see here, we break it down into ABC segments, forecasting scores to understand the best ones that are scoring. And then we take it a step further to show the model run, whether you ran the model AI side, manual, made an adjustment, or the previous or excluded. And we can also adjust this forecast really simply. So maybe I want to increase this. And all we have to do is hit save changes. And as you can see here, it automatically updates and it trickles down the rest of the supply chain. So all this information here gives us a really good understanding of what our next couple of months look like, but we can also dive into each item and understand from here a breakdown of that forecast. So as you can see here, score forecast of 4, 44.6 variance, really breaking down all of the forecast line chart, giving you an AI reason behind why we think this spike is going this way, breaking down some of the stats, the outliers, really giving you that full picture of what we're doing in order to give you that understanding of the forecast and trust it. Now, with all that being said, the next step would be really trying to understand with that forecast, with our inventory, with all the purchases that we have on hand are coming in, you know, what do we need to order, right? What do we need to do to keep up with demand? So, with that being said, I want to show you a quick simulation of, bringing all that data together so that we can then understand what it's going to take to purchase and keep up with our current demand. And as you can see here, we have all the items broken down based on what our system has recommended that you need to purchase. And each of these items, you can see here, all of the, minimum order quantities on hand, lead times, safety stock, safety days, really giving you, a good baseline of what you need to order when you need to order and really telling you what it recommends. Now, you can always make adjustments and change the way that this looks on that front. But in order to do that, I would suggest just going ahead and clicking on here, and it's really going to give you the recommendation. It's going to break down why we recommend that you need to order 511 units. And, based on this information, maybe you have some knowledge that there's going to be a spike and you need to increase this so that you can keep up with the demand. But this is going to break it down based on that information. And on top of that, we also have insights that break down why you need to purchase 511 units. So it's really giving you that breakdown of everything you need to understand in order to stay up with your demand. And from there, say I do want to increase this by, another, 10. So maybe I'll do 521 and we'll update that and we could recalculate. So once that recalculates, it would adjust this from here and then we could export and send this into Sage to update our orders and complete those orders without having to go back and forth between the systems. So I just wanted to make sure I touched on these components here. The last thing that I wanted to do was just wrap up a couple slides here. And, the way we typically help customers is we start with a quick win approach. Initially, start out with our quick AI agentic, Athena with the 16 storyboards, giving, users instant access to their dashboards, KPIs, natural language questions against Sage data. So instead of asking IT for reports, users can actually jump in and ask in plain English. After that, you can see where we can also add on the demand planning and the supply planning. So usually we see it in kind of a staged approach to get you guys really bought in on the AI piece. Outside of that, I want to thank you all for your time today. I also want to mention that if you guys book a demo before the 15th of June here, we are also offering a $50 gift card and the first month of your subscription for free. So if you would, select that QR code there and book a demo with us.